welcome to Paths, where you will learn about the paths different entertainment industry contributors have taken to land where they are today. I am your host, JL Benjamin, and I am here with none other than stunt extraordinaire, actor, and producer, Donny Carrington. Oh my gosh, how are you feeling today?
I'm blessed and amazing, so I feel wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I am doing well. You know, I was preparing myself for this stunt that we're about to do. Are you ready to jump into it?
I need a contract.
Oh.
Nah. If it's for the kids, I got you.
Love it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta turn. Okay, one. You're just gonna dive off the desk onto the floor, roll around, then pop back up. Then there's gonna be a car that kind of hits you from the side. Is that cool?
Yeah, we need a contract.
Cool, we got it, okay? Awesome, we're gonna jump into these questions. Let's start from the beginning. Where are you from?
I was born in Kentucky. I grew up on the south side of Atlanta in Clayton County.
Clayco. You from Clayco?
Yep.
You're not from Clayco.
I'm from Clayco, Riverdale.
Where?
Yep.
Waka Flocka. Nah, I ain't going for it. So how does a person from Clayton County end up on screen?
How does a person end up on screen? You gotta just want more for yourself and more for your situation. And honestly, my mom is one of my biggest, like, I don't want to call her a cheerleader because when she see this, she gonna be like, I ain't no cheerleader. But my mom, like, she's always just worked so hard, and I always wanted to build a foundation so I can, help her situation as well. I know that sounds cliche because by no means my mom wasn't like struggling because she's always worked, but I still, don't want her working as hard. So I just wanted more.
So what did you do as a kid? I mean, literally, how do you break into the field of being a stunt extraordinaire? Are you like running in the walls as a kid? Like, what are you doing?
Actually, kind of. Like, we used to have like the beds on the ground for our trampolines, and we used to like run up and flip off of them and stuff like that. Or when I go to school, I used to jump off the trailers that be outside of the school. I always just wanted to do that stuff like that. Or people watching, so I'm like, oh, I got to do something like. Because these guys are flipping on the ground, let me just flip off the trailer. So people thought I was crazy, but it was fun.
Oh my goodness. So you were an extremist out the womb.
Yeah, you can say that.
So what is the craziest stunt that you've done?
The craziest stunt I've done, I've done so many stunts. They started to run together. The craziest one would be actually getting set on fire. And I say that because like, you can't, if you inhale the flames or whatever, like it's not good. You might not make it. So you really got to hold your breath and just pray like, okay, I got enough air that I need. I can just do my thing. So fire is always dangerous. People think it's easy because it's quick and then they blow you out, but you really got to like, know what you're doing. You can't just be like, oh, set me on fire. It's like,
you really could get crispy.
Yeah, you can get crispy.
Like lit.
Yeah, you'll be lit.
Literally. And so what was one of the stunts then? Because you speak about some of the dangers that you can run into with fire. What is a stunt that you did that made you kind of question? You was like, I don't know if I want to do that one.
I would have to say on originals, it's called this thing called a ratchet. It'll take you from one point of a location to another one really fast, and then you have to have somebody watching you somewhere where they can push a button to slow it down or pop the release. And if you ever watch the original Vampire Diaries, it's a church they use, and it's like above the pews. It's like a small spot. Right before I go, the stunt coordinator comes to me and was like, "Hey, you have about this much room for your head, so make sure you like tuck your neck and everything." And I'm like, "That's the best place y'all could have put it." He was like, "Yeah, but you just probably break your back." And I'm like, why would you tell me that right before I go? So, you know what I mean? You just got to trust yourself and like trust like God's going to bring you through it and not think about it. And the wire was like wrapped around my neck, and just somehow I'm just going to give it to God. Like watching the playback, I like move my neck around it as I'm going, and they was like, I don't know how you did that, but I'm glad you did it. And I'm just like, I know what I'm doing, but I'm really like, me too. You know what I mean? That little voice like, thank you, God. Like, yeah.
So what are some of the affirmations you tell yourself before you even engage in stunt?
Some affirmations, I'll be sitting there like, am I crazy? Cause my girl at this point, she don't even ask me what I'm doing sometime at work, cause she'd be like, nah, I don't even want to know. Or she'll be like, you really want to do that? Like, you stop doing that. Like, you know. So I tell myself, okay, I gotta make it back home in one piece, or she ain't gonna be doing this no more. The second one is I'm getting paid pretty good, so let me man up. I know I probably gotta do this take 10 times, so let me just focus on my training and what I've done to get here. Yeah, you really just have to, in stunts, you really have to trust yourself. When you second guess yourself, that's when you start getting hurt, like, because you're thinking about it too much. You can't think, you gotta go, you gotta know. So when a stunt coordinator call you and ask you, are you ready or can you do it? Don't lie. If you can't do it, they may give you enough time to train you for it. Yeah. Or you just start learning this skill on your, on your own, so you can be prepared next time. Like, never lie about your abilities, because you can mess up production, you can mess up yourself, you know what I mean? And you're wasting everybody's time, so.
Dang, so when you speak about training, what stunt gyms are you going to? Which ones would you recommend to the viewers?
Well, I just got back recently from LA, so if you're in LA, I would suggest you go to Jam or a gym called Tempest, or go to gymnastic gyms, because they have spring floors, so you can do your falls and your fights and learn to flip. I would say in Atlanta, it's a couple. I don't know if they're still here because of COVID, but your Unit 2s. You got Smash. ATL Stunts is a pretty good one. I haven't been, but I've seen on Instagram they're doing like a lot for new and up and coming guys. Yeah. But for the most part, me and a bunch of my guys that been doing stunts for years, we kind of like got gym set up like in our home. Oh wow! So we just get together, call each other, and like just train different stuff, from fights to guns to everything.
So taking a step back, then I know you didn't go from jumping on the trampoline
no. Oh yeah, that's to the stage. Yeah, that's back. I was just giving y'all a blanket. I was giving y'all a blanket of what we about to get into. All right, let's get it. You're right. So we rewind. I always knew I wanted to be in film and television. Just watching Martin and Will Smith and all them, and being a class clown and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. I played football. I was too small at the time. So I was good. Don't get me wrong now. I lost my train of thought. So I was
points
good.
on the board. You was good.
Yeah. I was good. I was just a little small, But I was an extra. So I was an extra, and we were actually playing football. The irony. We was playing football, and I was like feeling myself, and I'm like out there really playing. He's like, yo, this is just TV, like, why you going? I'm like, yo, I just feel good. I've never in my life done this before. I have on a helmet and full shoulder pads, and I'm like, yo, I feel like I can flip, like, with this equipment on. So I do it, and then I'm like, oh, that was easy. So I do it again, and the director comes over on the intercom, and he's like, hey, who's doing those flips? And I'm like, oh, they finna send me home. I ain't finna make my little $68 today. Everybody looking like, they like, Donny, it was you. I'm like, it was me. He was like, you wanna do that on film? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I end up, I've never done it before. So the scene is the quarterback gets tackled. I pick up the ball, I go score, and I do a backflip. I've never done it before. So when they say action, I pick up the ball. I'm like chasing the ball, I pick it up, and I'm like, oh, how am I supposed to run and do a backflip? Like, you know what I mean? So I do that 3 times, mess up their tape. Everybody in the crowd started saying, this guy is camera shy. I started chanting. So I'm like, God, please help me. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So it happened perfect. Like, he gets tackled, the ball bounces up, I catch it. I throw the ball down, I do a round off first, and then I flip. Boom. Everybody go crazy. And I'm just like, yo, that was it. So long story short, the stunt coordinator tells me, he was like, I didn't tell you to do that. He's like, so I'm thinking I'm about to get bumped up. I don't get bumped up. I forget about it. Joanna's my cousin. She sees it. She was like, oh, you got stunt adjustment? I was like, no, what's that? She was like, Gus got you. I was like, dang, he got me. So I called production, and they was like, we already wrapped. We can't do nothing. We can give you the credit. So I took that one stunt credit and started getting into business. But to circle around, Gus did get me on If Loving You Was Wrong. Yeah. And I had to, it was that situation where everybody's like, if you wear a dress, all that stuff. Yeah. He didn't tell me what it was. He just called me laughing. He was like, yo, I got a stunt for you. You're going to be perfect. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get there. I see the contract, and I'm like, yo, I haven't seen this much money ever. So I'm happy, and I'm sitting there, and I think I'm in the wrong trailer because it's like girl clothes in there, and I'm like, yo, Gus, I think they got me in the wrong trailer. I don't know how this works. Maybe it's somebody we sharing trailer. He was like, nah. He was like, go to wardrobe. So I go to wardrobe. They was like, so you want heels or flats? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, oh, this is your dress. I'm like, my dress. So I got the thoughts in my head like, oh man, they finna, yeah. So the scene was me stealing baby clothes, and then I gotta wear a wig. So I'm stealing baby clothes in the store, and I get busted. So I'm sitting there, they take the wig off, I'm just sitting in the camera like this. But it was a good day. But it was just funny because the whole stigmatism of wearing the dress and all that stuff. But it was a great day, got paid good, and I'm actually still getting paid for that show. So it's a blessing.
So it sounds like your path came about by you just being you. Like,
yeah, my path basically came about, I tell anyone, whatever you want to do, just believe in yourself. If you don't believe in nothing else, like I'm not going to tell you, I believe in God. I'm a firm believer. I'm not going to tell nobody, to do your thing, but believe in yourself. If you don't believe in nothing else, like even when I'm doing my stunts, I believe in myself. I believe I'm there in that moment in time for a reason to do my job and do a damn good job. So you just got to, I can't stress it enough. Believe in yourself.
You got to look at the camera for that one.
Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in nothing else, believe in you. Telling you.
Oh my goodness. So not even taking it to a different level, but what was a moment where you didn't believe in yourself as much, right? Because there are going to be some viewers that are watching Path right now that, are don't see their way out, don't see their way to that level of belief.
Well, right after that show, because I was, after that show, it was like, dang, I'm not like working, my phone's not, it's like, no, you got to keep training. You got to learn the business now. Now that you got this credit, that credit is that credit. You already did that. Yeah. What we doing now? So it's like I look at life as you in a car going to your next destination. You're going to have pit stops, but you got to get back on the road and keep going. You know what I mean? Like, my favorite thing is, I'm going to trademark this now, is there are no no's, just not right now. Yeah. And I say that because if you truly believe in yourself of what you have going on, you're going to get there. Like, if you're putting your energy into that, it's just like you're pounding away. You're going to get there. I lost my train of thought. I got long-winded.
You're going to get there. But speaking of the business and learning the business, right, what are you doing to stay abreast on how the business is moving?
So we have this thing called SAG-AFTRA, and you just got to, they send a million emails, and I know people probably don't, read them, or they probably like, I'll read it later.
What does SAG stand for?
SAG-AFTRA.
What does SAG stand for?
That's just our...
Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, yeah, Screen Actors Guild, but I was going to say that's our union.
For the new people.
Oh, sorry. So SAG-AFTRA is the Screen Actors Guild, and it's like our union.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
SAG-AFTRA, so learning the business. How are you staying abreast?
So you just got to really open those emails. People, because I see a lot of people, like some of my friends, I'll be like, you're not going to read the email? They're like, I'll read it later. And then later turns into 50 more SAG emails that they never get to. So you got to honestly know what's going on in the business because times are changing. Even with COVID, you know what I mean? You got to know what's going on. So reading those emails and always just tap it in.
How'd you get involved with SAG?
After that first job in Love and You Was Wrong, they send you a letter in the mail asking you to join. Well, they can't tell you to join, but they'll be like, hey, you can join. So it's kind of like, do I join, do I not? But in Stunts, you want to join because in SAG, let me start over. In Stunts, you want to join because you need them to cover your back. Yeah. Because it's not like having in acting, because I'm an actor as well, where you have managers and agents willing to fight for you. You kind of an entrepreneur and you're fighting for yourself. So if you're fighting for yourself, you really don't have no backing, and it's kind of like, okay, we'll get to it. You know what I mean? So it's like SAG-AFTRA be like, no, this guy needs this, you owe him this. What are we doing? Well, we're going to shut your project down, or you're going to get a bunch of emails of us telling you not to work for this project. So so it's a good thing to join the union when it's your time.
So you have to check the mail.
Yeah, you got to check.
What I hear, you have to check your mail.
Check your inbox.
I know a lot of people are not checking their mail.
Read. I know it's
never check your mail.
Fundamental, but you got to read. Read your stuff.
You got to read and check the mail. So acting, when did you know you wanted to transition almost from being an extra to stunts to acting to then adding on acting?
Well, like I say, life is a vehicle. So it's like you never want to just stay where you're at. You always want to do more and add more, because like everything's changing. Who's this? Like I can't be 50, 60 doing stunts. Like I see some guys doing that, but that's not my path. You know what I mean? So you just gotta keep going. Like, you know, find ways to get better. You don't wanna just be stagnant. Like, you know what I mean? Because even that, you can help other people by your elevation and growth. You know what I mean? So don't just get there and be like, oh, I made it. It's like, what am I working for? Because then you're gonna stop. So it's like you just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But acting, I always knew I wanted to act, and stunts actually segued me into that. And I was making some pretty good money. I worked on some pretty good films and still working on films. Had it been for my wonderful lady, one day she was just sitting there, she was like, when are you gonna pick acting back up? And I was just like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Because I was being stagnant. Like I had my woman, I had a couple dollars, and I was just living a life. But it's like, dang, I'm getting stagnant. I need to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spoke about joining the union for actors, and I'm assuming that allowed you to create a big community with your peers. But before then, right, in the stage before you got reached out and credited, how were you building a community with other actors?
Well, you just got to hit these acting classes. You got to hit the stunt gyms, the training gyms. You need to find you a martial arts. And if you really want to get into stunts, I say you should have a skill that if anybody call you, you can do this skill a million times. With, you know what I mean, with your eyes closed, on your head. Like just, you got to have something to offer, and then they can start building on that. Like, oh, he can do this skill because we have a Facebook group. You have to be in the union, but they look for special skills, and if they can't find it in a community, that's when they start reaching out to people that probably never done a stunt but could do one. You know what I mean? So
what's the skill right now? What's the stunt right now that you are aware of, right? That either you want to do or that you know is actively sought after, highly sought after?
Well, this one, actually, so your basics, you should be able to fight. Okay. You should be able to fall. Gotcha. And you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to flip because you're not going to be flipping in every film. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, you're either going to fall, fight, or shoot. So you know what I mean? Okay. Those things are like your basics. So it's like, try to learn some type of martial arts just to have that discipline. Yeah. And then you can start building around once you got discipline. Some people are like, oh, I'm athletic. I can do this, I can do that. But it's like, but can you do this 100 times though? Yeah. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But in the heat of the moment, and the camera the camera guy might be like, I missed it. Can you do it again? And if you like, dang, God bless me on that one. Another one. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like you really have to train. And then after you train, you got to learn the business. Yeah. Because I'm not one of those guys that'll be like, stunt guys are like manly men, and it's like, guys, listen. If our contracts say we get cashiers, I want a cashier. You know why? Because y'all trying to cut these corners. Like, I'm not just here just for you. Oh, that's great. All right, next. No, y'all called me here. So let's all do what's in that contract. Because I had a guy, prop master, say, oh, well, only cast get chairs. Oh, you don't read the SAG handbook, do you? Get the chair. So that's why you need to read so you can know your stuff. Because some people probably didn't read it either, and they'll be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry for asking. Let's get a chair. On page 5A, this is you. This is me. Need a chair. I hate to be like that, but sometimes you just gotta, be treated equally.
Yeah, and you deserve it, right? Yeah, I don't want to say you deserve it, but you do deserve it, right? Yeah. You've earned it. You've read the contract. You got booked for the gig. And I mean, you have a SAG award. So could you talk more about that? Like, what did that feel like?
No, that felt great. That felt great because the year after, we was nominated again. So it's kind of like, dang, I'm going to win either way. Like, it's just which project. One was for Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman. So, and then the other one was for Avengers Endgame. So those are pretty dope. I don't even think it hit me still yet. Even though that was 2019, because I'm always going, and sometimes I don't celebrate myself because it's like I just I don't want to get stagnant again. But man, it was an amazing feeling because I know those are like opportunities, maybe like players winning the Super Bowl or the national championship. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, dang, like I'm really meant for this. Like I'm winning stuff that some people sit there like, I want to win. I'm not thinking about that. I'm really invested in the craft. And God is like, man, I got you here, a couple dollars. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like those moments are just like, they're good.
Oh my goodness. So what was the post feeling? Because you said you don't really celebrate yourself, but what was your post feeling then? You got the award. You didn't really like focus on it.
You know what? I'll be real with you. So I got the award when I was doing security. So and I say that because,
Let's talk about it. You had another job, a different job.
So people be like, how you win an award for Black Panther but you work in security? I'm like, because that job is in the past. Like I like to be able to do what I want to do. Like regardless, if I want to buy something, I want to buy it. I want it like so. I don't just spend stupidly, but if I like something, you just got to keep working. And I don't care if people be like, oh, he does security, he acts like I do it all. Act, produce, security. If my boy need help hanging up something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to just do it all. You got to serve so God can open his hands for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like people get titles and awards and all this stuff, and then they feel like they're only supposed to act a certain way. And it's like, why? We're all creating every day. Like, just keep creating and be a good person. You know, so stuff like that.
Yeah. As being a good person, how are you opening doors for other actors or stunt extraordinaires that are coming behind you? Is it through a nonprofit or teaching certain workshops? Like, how can people from past directly get in contact with you?
The producers, they know how to get to me. No, actually, so I just recently bought a home in Atlanta.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
First time home buyer?
First time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still have, I got it's just so much going on mentally for me because like moving all your stuff from one place to across the country, so it's like, scrambling. Yeah. But once I'm finally settling down and like really focusing on what I need to do. Like I'm gonna have, nonprofit is coming soon. We're gonna start it up because I love the kids. If it's nothing else, like I literally want to become a household name because I want to give back so much. And sadly enough, I used to go to elementary schools and just like do athletic stuff with kids. And I realized that a lot of them listen to so much rap and all this negative stuff that they weren't paying attention to me. Some of them were, like 2 of them, but out of the other 100, it's like they want to walk around and be like what they see on TV or on Instagram. So it's like, cool. So I got to make it to the point where I'm known enough for them to be like, oh, it can happen for me. This is possible, and I don't have to do negative stuff. You know what I mean? Because 90% of the stuff that I seen was negative, and it's like, these kids aren't even kids. These are like little grown people. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, dang, it don't seem like y'all having fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or the stuff you do is like lame. And I'm like, lame? Like, I used to love running around, kickball, and
climbing trees.
Right.
Going outside.
So definitely a nonprofit is coming soon.
Awesome. Yeah. So what classes or workshops are you looking to take that you haven't taken yet?
Oh, right now, since a lot of these classes are online, I want to take Leslie Kahn. I hear she's dope. I know a couple friends, actor friends that's taken her, and like their careers have definitely changed with their acting. So Leslie Kahn is a good one. Tasha Smith.
Love it.
She's pretty awesome. Those are the top 2 in my mind right now.
Top 2 in your mind. So if you're watching, tuned in,
Tasha Smith or Leslie Kahn.
Send Donny on over there via DM. So, speaking of jobs, you talked about working in security and then also leaving to go on stage. What did you do on Black Panther?
So on Black Panther, I was part of the two of the tribes. So we just had to do a lot of fighting all day. And that's what I mean by being able to do something 100 times. Besides the ratchets when we're getting thrown across the field, because we shot most of that in Fairburn on a farm. And
oh, wow.
In
Fairburn, 29.
29.
Georgia.
Yep.
That's where I'm from, yeah.
So we shot most of that on a farm out there where they actually built that mountain you see there in the hills. Mm-hmm. They actually built those and then just covered it with grass. And we had to run down that hill like, no lie, like 1,000,000 times. And there's no trees on the farm, so it was just sun and us. Running and just fighting all day. But it was fun. The hardest thing to do was fight against air. Like, if I fight you and we're fighting, it's better because I got angles. But if like they take you out and I'm fighting air, for some reason you get tired so quick. But you can't be like, yo, I'm tired. You gotta just be like dying, like, you know, because like the camera's rolling, and it's like, hey, cut. You like, all right, going again. You know, so it's like, so I did a lot of fighting on Black Panther, to say the least.
So what was your favorite set in terms of acting?
My favorite set?
Yeah. Set experience. Like, it was just phenomenal.
My favorite set experience would probably be right now.
Right now?
Yeah, like
on Paths?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you said that. See? What
Right
you
now,
don't like it? Great.
Oh, I love Paths. But right now I'm working on a movie with DJ Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. And I manifested that job because I was on this movie during the pandemic called Red Notice. And I'm sitting there looking at my phone, my old phone, and I see my vision board on my screensaver. And you got Will Smith, not say Will Smith, you got, Will Smith's on the vision board, Jamie Foxx, and The Rock. And I'm like, dang, God gave me this job. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like, I want to act with The Rock.
Yeah.
The very next movie, I worked with Jamie Foxx, right? So I'm sitting there like, dang, God, I want to act with him too. So I do Jamie Foxx stunts, and I can't say the movie yet, but I do his stunts. And then fast forward, I go to the next film, and I'm acting with The Rock. So I say that to say, like, I knew it was gonna happen because I'm sitting right here with The Rock, but I'm doing stunts. And I'm like, God, I know I asked you for this, but I wasn't specific. So you gotta be specific too. I want to act with The Rock. And 2 movies later, I'm acting with The Rock. So I'm like, yo, this manifesting stuff works.
This manifesting stuff works. The out loud prayers, telling
out loud
everybody.
prayers, like just believing in yourself and just going for it. Like, you know, like just keep pounding, man. Like, I can't stress that enough because so many people give up. Like, don't give up, because if you give up, you really might, all the stuff you done put in, you might be right there, and then you give up and you're just going all the way back that way. We're not going that way. Go forward.
Yeah.
Choose your path.
Choose your path.
I'm dropping.
Do you feel like you chose your path, or did your path choose you? Or both?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And I say that because it's like, whatever you put your energy in, that, like, the universe has to give it back. So it chose me a little, but like, I'm me, so I can't. If I stop, it stops. So, you know, you got to keep going. And like, honestly, just choose your path, because you are the creator. You are your creator. Like, you creating your story every day. So what do you want it to say? I gave up? No, go get it.
Oh my goodness.
Gotta go get it.
Gotta go get it.
Go get it.
Get up, go get it. Oh my goodness. So now that I'm thinking about it, let me take a step back. Let me take a breather.
Okay.
Actor, stunt extraordinaire, manifesting next projects that are already in grasp. Already in grasp.
She talking.
For someone who's watching Paths right now, who is struggling to believe in themselves, what are those words of encouragement that you would give to them?
There are no no's. They're just not right now. Because people want stuff right now. But I look at it like, when you're late to something or that red light catch you, I'm never mad. I don't stress about it, because I feel like God is keeping me from something. You ride down the street and be like, oh, that accident could have been me had I missed it, had I caught that light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just got to think about stuff like the what ifs. So it's like, oh man, I'm at the light. Oh, this traffic cut me off. Oh, like, what? You beeping your horn at the folks? Like, they don't care. They can't hear you. Like, so it's like, you gotta be like, try to move in the positive energy. Like, because if you have the negative energy, you're gonna have a negative life. You just can't have negativity. And I know sometimes you need that moment. Take that moment. Cut everything off. Like, just listen to yourself, because there's a little voice in there. Like, you know what I mean? You're just not listening because it's so much. You got your iPhone in your hand all day. You got the TV. It's just so much. You got to shut down. Like, just unplug and just really be like, what do I want?
What does that look like for you?
Me?
What does self-care after a stunt, post-set, post-production, what does that look like for you? Is it going on vacation? Is it going to the club? Because I know some people like post self-care, they're out and about, but that's how they kind of release.
Yeah, my self-care honestly is me like just taking a breather, going to jog. I can run forever. So it's like me just thinking. I don't even like music. I just like to listen and learn because I'm like, I can create movie ideas like no other. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just running, thinking about my day, just processing everything and just releasing everything on the run.
Yeah.
Because you have to have time for yourself. Some people are always just pulling on you, asking for stuff, doing this. And you just got to be like, no, I need my time. Like, you need some time for yourself. People don't think you do. Like, some people hate being alone. Sometimes you need to be alone. Sometimes God will force you to be alone. So before he forces that, you should just try to take
that time.
for yourself.
Take that time.
Yeah.
How do you set those boundaries? Is it do not disturb on your phone? Is it, are you announcing to the world like, hey, y'all, I'm about to be off Instagram, or telling your agent?
I don't want to sound like this, but like when it comes to stuff like that, I don't owe anyone anything because my energy is my energy. When I'm ready to give you my energy, you ignore it because I love people. I want people to do well. But when I need my time, I'm just not going to respond, or just my phone is just gonna be wherever it's at. I probably like, dang, where my phone at? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my phone to be a tracking device, like on me everywhere that I go. Like, it's not that deep. If people are like, oh, well, what about somebody trying to reach you? Email or message, I'll get back to you. and if it's like, oh, we needed to know right now, or we give the job to somebody else, it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
You didn't want me bad enough. You know what I mean? To wait 30 minutes, wait an hour. I'm not away from my phone that long, but that's my time. Like, or when somebody, like stunt coordinator, sometimes they hit you up and be like, hey, you're not professional. I'm not gonna have my phone on me 24/7. Like, I'm training, I'm running. You don't know what I'm doing, but they get mad sometimes when you don't hit them right back. Like, oh, it's 20 minutes, you didn't hit me back. All right, well, give the job to someone else. Because you need your time. I can't stress that enough. You need your time.
You need your time? You gotta
take
it.
Gotta take it.
Because some people are like, ooh, opportunities are happening.
You gotta relax.
They gotta go.
You gotta relax because you might run into the wrong opportunity and be stuck in it.
Ooh. Have you ever ran into the wrong opportunity? Or an opportunity where you was like, I don't know if this was it?
Nah, see, because when I don't take every opportunity. And I actually learned that from my girl. Like, because I used to be like, oh, I gotta get money. I gotta do this. And she'd be like, you don't even like that. Why are you doing that? And I'd be like, oh, you're right, I don't like that. Dang, she pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? So I learned a lot from her. Like, you know what I mean? Because she's so grounded with just like everything. So I take a lot from her and I'm like, yo, because I'm used to just going. I'm an Aquarius, so I like, I'm like, I love people and I just
I'm sorry.
So it's one of those things where you just need your time. Take some time. If you haven't taken time for yourself, try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least try like to get on the schedule where it's like, oh, I need a break from everything, from the world.
We actually gonna take some time right here on Pass. We're gonna pause. All right, that was good.
That was perfect.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, if there's one quotable, one tweet, one comment, what is your quotable? What is that tweet? What is that Facebook post? What is that? I'm gonna write it down, put it as a sticky on my mirror wall.
It would be, there are no no's, just not right now. And I can't stress that.
I love it. He done said it 3 times. So if y'all didn't write it down the first time, should have wrote it down the second time. If you didn't get it the second time, you should have wrote it down the third time.
Because you're going to get there if you honestly put in the work and trusting in yourself.
Yeah. Wow.
I believe that.
That was deep.
So, choose your path.
Choose your path. Y'all, my name is J.L. Benjamin. I am your host, and I'm here with Donny Carrington. I am so excited to have had you on the show. I'm ready to do that jump, flip, stunt, crawl, get hit by the car right after we get off camera. And we are so excited. Please don't try this at home. But again, try this at home. Try believing in yourself and navigating your own path. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.